always a battle, and the towns get behind it, everyone does, and, there'll be nothing left on that field tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. Clinton at 0-3, Weatherford at 3-0. Woodward is at Elgin, Elk City visits Anadarko, Cache plays at Newcastle, it's Moreland at Fairview, Sayre plays at Texoma, Beaver at Burns Flat Dill City, Carnegie at Snyder, Oklahoma Christian Academy is going to Watonga to play the Eagles. It is Hollis at Hobart, Cordell visits Hinton, Mangum travels to Boone Apache. We'll keep you up to date on scores as we get them throughout the evening. The teams now meeting at midfield as the captains talk it over and get ready for the toss of the coin, Rodney.
Yeah, we'll take a look here. He's kind of introducing each captain, and the referee's going over all the rules and how the game's going to be played. So we'll see how it comes out.
And as they do that, Rodney, I guess as we look at the keys to the ball game tonight, let's talk a little bit about what the keys are for Thomas to get off to a good start tonight.
I think the main key is for the Thomas defense is going to be controlling the hooker quarterback, and he's a special athlete, and everyone's talked about him. You watch the film, very elusive. So I think that's the key to the D. The offense is just coming out and playing some hard-nosed football, getting the blocks, and and same thing for the Hooker Bulldogs. Just having good, solid offense without any turnovers.
So Thomas has won the toss. They have elected to defer to the second half, so Hooker gets the ball to start tonight, so Thomas puts the defense on the field first.
Yeah, and, a lot of teams like to start with the defense, sometimes see what the other look is. It helps set the tempo of the game a little bit rather than try to make your offense roll. It's especially early in the season like we are, sitting here at Game 4. It takes offenses a little while to get cranking.
Yeah, it really does. And the Thomas offense did pretty well early in the first ball game against Alva. Sputtered a little bit, came back to get a 28-25 win. Played really well against O'Keene. And then last week just flat out didn't get too much done.
Just didn't play real well, but they played two great ball games. They have the athletes, they have the spirit, they have everything it takes. You just have to get it all together and put it into one package and drive it forward.
Well, coming up after tonight's game, we'll name tonight's McDonald's Player of the Game, brought to you by McDonald's. You can stop what you're doing and go try the new Buttermilk Crispy Chicken at McDonald's. 100% chicken breast filet, real buttermilk, and a blend of spices. Makes for an awesome new sandwich. Get yours today at McDonald's. Clinton, Weatherford, and South Main and Elk City. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And here comes the Hooker Bulldogs onto the field through the Spirit line as the Thomas Terriers get ready to go to the sideline on the far side. And a pretty decent crowd coming from Thomas. Obviously, the stand's not full, Rodney. They're probably about maybe 35-40% full over there on the far side.
Yeah, or maybe a little more than that. The Thomas band came, and I had a Hooker fan earlier ask me, they said, "You mean your band travels?" I said, "Everybody travels. Thomas clears out for football games, basketball, to support these kids, and we always have great fans, and they're always behind the Terriers, and it shows tonight. So there's more people coming. They might have stopped in Woodward or something to eat or along the way.
Or maybe they're back home yet listening tonight, because those who could not travel and make the trip, which is about 3+ hours from Thomas, 3.5 hours, unless you're flying like Rodney in an hour and 4 minutes, you might be home listening to this one tonight, and we certainly are glad that you have come aboard tonight.
Yeah, that's great, and we're here to try to bring you some live action if we can.
What I'd like to know is, did you have the airport over here, which is about 100 yards or so off the football field, did you have that personally constructed this week so you could just fly right in and walk on over?
I didn't. I didn't know where it was. I called their city and said, "Hey, where's the airport? Can I get a ride?" Sometimes I have the local police to pick me up, and they go, "Well, you can just walk right across." I said, "Great." So had a full plane tonight. Had some Terriers call and want to ride along. Coach Hart's dad came with me, and Larry and Lance Dobbins rode up with me. So we had a good trip, and hopefully we'll have a good one home.
All right, we're ready to kick this one off. Robert Comstock has it on the tee. He'll kick it off for the Terriers, and he'll kick it right down the middle of the field. It'll bounce at the 35-yard line, picked up at the 33 in the middle of the field, up by the 35-yard line, and going down right there is going to be a return player for,
brought down by Traber Mannering,
Hooker, and we didn't see which one brought it back. Actually, the sun is right in our eyes right now, Rodney, and it is pretty nasty.
Are the wasps bothering you too that's buzzing around your head?
I don't know they're around my head, but I can't find my cursor right now on my computer. That's one thing I do know, and I just did find it. So we've got trips going to the right side on the first play of the ball game. Metcalf wants to throw. He'll throw a bubble screen out to the right side, and up to the 40-yard line goes the receiver, and that's going to be Dawson Metcalf, a sophomore.
And brought down by Cooper Marsh and Tyler Freeberg. Really watched that play and didn't allow too many yards.
4 yards on the play. They'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
Second down, 6 Bulldogs from their own 40.
Metcalf is the quarterback. In shotgun, wants to run it to the left side, looking for running room, cuts it up the middle, 40-yard line, 45, a little bit of a hole, and he's out to midfield, and he's got a first down as he picks up 10 yards. Metcalf did a nice job of cutting it back up inside.
Made a nice cut, you know, on the defense. They brought the play inside, but you're just missing a couple guys there, and Metcalf advanced for a first down.
I can tell you it's a lot better now the sun has gone behind the clouds, just a hair. Ball at midfield, first down for Hooker. Here's Metcalf, zone read. He's going to hand it off, and coming around the left side is Isaiah Vargas, gets about a yard, and then he's going to be stood up by Ace Thompson, the Rover, a 5'9", 140-pound senior. Gain of only 1 will be 2nd down and 9.
And had a little help from number 88 too, Howie out there. So
that's Justin Howe.
Justin Howe.
They'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Ball in Thomas territory at the 49-yard line.
49.5. 2nd and 9.
Rodney Wilson, I'm Mike Smith. We bid you welcome into week number 4 of Thomas Terrier football this season. Shotgun formation, and a handoff is going to go into the backfield, and Isaiah Vargas is going to be met very quickly in the backfield, back in Hooker territory, back at the 47-yard line as he loses 4 yards, and the Terrier defense snuffed that one out very quickly.
Yeah, that was drugged down by big Trent Mannering. He just followed the play around, read it well, and drug him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Ball back at the 47-yard line. 3rd down, 13 for Hooker. Ball back at the 47-yard line. They'll go trips on the right side, single wide receiver going left. Metcalf in shotgun. We've got a flag down, and we have a false start called on Hooker. So the false start will back up Hooker 5 yards.
The ball back down to the 42.
So Hooker coming out, showing a little bit of run, a little bit of pass, kind of trying to fill out this Thomas defense, and the Thomas defense is certainly looking for that pass with the pass yards they've had in the last 3 games.
3rd down, 18.
3rd down and 18.
Ball back at the 42-yard line, same formation, trips to the left side, back to pass Metcalf, over the middle, and he has his wide receiver. It's wide open in Thomas territory, and running with the football, this is Dawson Metcalf, has it on the left sideline, by the 20, inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line, and through the air, Hooker converts on a first down.
And some of the things that defensive coordinator Coach Hart was looking for last week, he's really practiced with these guys. You know, they come up with some big plays. There's time, takes that line to add pressure, and they did, and Metcalf made the hook up with Metcalf.
44-yard pass, play takes it down to the 14 of Thomas. Twins to going each side on first down. Dayton Metcalf to throw, looks for the end zone, and it's knocked down inside the 5-yard line, looking for Dawson Metcalf once again, and it'll be 2nd down.
And Tyler Freeberg was right up on there to bump him a little bit and kind of break up that play.
Thomas defense already with their backs against their own goal line. 2nd down, 10 from the 14 of Thomas for Hooker. Just underway, 9:21 to play, first quarter. There is no score. Metcalf in shotgun, has running backs on each side of him. Fakes the handoff, will keep it on the right side, and down Apple will hog time at around the 10-yard line. A pickup of 4 yards as Dayton Metcalf is a pretty big player at quarterback, 6'4", 205. Sort of reminds you a little bit of last year and what Thomas had.
Yeah, Trent Dunaway, it looks a lot like Trent Dunaway out there standing, and just a pretty good-sized quarterback.
A red Escape is parked in
So from the 10-yard line of Thomas, 3rd down and 6 for Hooker. 3 receiver set, Twins going left. In shotgun, Metcalf is going to hand it off, and coming around the left side, this is Vargas looking for running room. He's inside the 10. down to about the 8-yard line, and he's going to be a little bit shy of the first down. He'll be about 4 yards shy of picking up the first and 10.
Number 5, Christian Boyette.
Free safety, Tanner Johnson's playing the free safety spots, and Tayden Herrera's out. Moved from that rover linebacker, and he came up to make the tackle, and Thomas did a good job of stringing that play out.
And
Fourth down, call it 4 from the Thomas 8-yard line. Here comes a big play for the defense for the Terriers.
It is, and equally so for the Hooker offense.
3 receivers set, Twins going right side this time. Dayton Metcalf keeps the football and is going to be met by Robert Comstock, and Comstock, the big news guard, takes him down right at about the line of scrimmage, and the Thomas defense is held.
And that's a type of play that we saw so much of last year from Comstock, is playing that nose guard. It's his favorite place to play, and they've been looking for Comstock to come alive, and he just did.
Inside the 10.
No gain on the play, and the Thomas Terriers will take over first and 10 from their own 8-yard line.
First and 10, Thomas from their own 6.
Tanner Johnson, the quarterback for the Thomas Terriers, will have twin receivers going right and left. Flanked on his left by Justin Howe in shotgun. Johnson calls for the football. Hands it off Ace Thompson on a jet sweep around the left side. Thompson with some running room by the 10, by the 15. He's out past the 20-yard line and will take it out near the 25 before being upended.
One of the better runs we've seen this year from Ace. He hasn't had a chance to get a hold of the ball too much, but he did. Broke one tackle and kind of scraped by another to get the Terriers a first down.
17-yard gain. Ace Thompson takes it out to the 25-yard line and a first down for the Thomas Terriers. Tanner Johnson in shotgun again, Howe on his left. Single receiver going to the right side. Also single receiver left, and here comes Tanner Johnson right up the middle looking for running room, and there's not much there. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Second down and 10. They may get him just forward progress just past the 25-yard line, and that play really didn't have a lot last week either against Chisholm.
It didn't, and big Colton Powell got a hold of him, and he's a big young man at 220, and just kind of bear hugged him up and stopped it just right before it started almost.
Give Johnson just about a yard on the play. Second down and 9 for the Terriers. Johnson takes the snap of the ball, and this time he'll hand it off, and here comes Howe. Howe looking for running room, and he might get about 3 yards up to the 28-yard line, and that's all. Flag on the play, and we'll check it out as it comes right into the middle of the line, which is where you would normally see holding.
And there's a flag down at the end of the play.
And it's actually going to be a face mask on the tackle against Hooker.
Yeah, they kind of turned. We have the sun in our eyes here. We're over on the east side and have a nice, good shot of a bright sunset here in the Plains country, and we couldn't see it because when he rolled to get away from the young man, he was to the west, and we just couldn't see the face mask. Unintentional face mask.
So take the ball up to the 33-yard line. That's a first down for the Thomas Terriers.
Down 3.
Make that second down and 3, beg your pardon. It's not an automatic first down. And coming around the left side is going to be Howe. Howe looking for running room. That's actually going to be Ace Thompson again on the jet sweep. Looking for some running room. He's going to get it out to about the 34-yard line. Again, we have the sun right directly in our eyes right now. And until that thing goes down for the night, it's going to be some tough seeing over on the far side, Rodney.
It's a challenge for sure.
Ball at the 34-yard line will bring up third down, call it 1. Johnson in shotgun. Has Cooper Marshall on his right. Here goes Johnson right up the middle by the 35-yard line up to the 36. And he's got the first down. So Tanner Johnson with just enough yardage to pick up the first and 10 for the Thomas Terriers. And you'll see a lot of this out of Thomas. A very methodical run game unless they really need to go to the air.
And Mike, you're really seeing a difference in this team. You're seeing better snaps tonight, you know. You're seeing runners run harder. It's just a more tuned team.
4 receiver set this time with trips going to the right side, and shotgun is Tanner Johnson. Johnson this time is going to flank Cooper Marshall on his left. Marsh now the running back in the backfield. Motion man Dow Apple, handoff goes to Marsh, has his first carry, a spin move, and taken down for a yard loss. Back at the 35-yard line, Jaden Vallis makes the stop. And that is one big chore right there for Jaden Vallis to take down Cooper Marsh, but that's one big man taking down another right there.
It is, and both of those players play really hard and run hard and very aggressive in this game. So
Loss of 1 on the play for Thomas and Cooper
second
Marsh.
down 11 from the
Second down,
35.
11.
4 receiver set, Twins each side. Johnson in shotgun. Again, Marsh is going to be flanked on his right this time. Johnson wants to throw, left sideline pass, and it's going to be incomplete as he sails it over the head of his intended receiver that went directly into the sun. And only thing I knew is it went to the ground because I heard the whistle blow.
I did too, and he's throwing over, Dayton Metcalf, the quarterback who's playing out there, and he's 6'4", and he's hard to throw over.
And a penalty on the play on the Thomas Terriers. It'll be a holding penalty, and that's going to back up the Terriers 10 yards if Hooker elects to take the penalty, and it looks like they will.
And the Bulldogs will accept.
So the holding penalty will march the Terriers back 10 yards and march it back to the 21-yard line.
24.
Or make it the 24-yard line, beg your pardon, where it'll be second down.
Second and 21 now.
21 to go for the Terriers. Twin receivers each side. Johnson in shotgun, back to pass. Johnson wants to set up a screen left side and has his receiver, Traver Mannering. But Mannering virtually has nowhere to go as he goes down right at the 25-yard line.
Saw some pretty good speed out of
21, Isaiah Vargas.
Isaiah Vargas coming up, and he read that play well and has the wheels to get there.
No gain in the play.
And they'll bring up
Third down and 21.
third down and 21 for the Thomas
Ball
Terriers.
plays at the 24.
Not much running room that time for the Terriers, and well played by Hooker. 5 receiver set as trips go to the right side. Empty set in the backfield for Johnson, who's all alone in shotgun. Johnson snap of the ball. This time he's going to take off, has some running room. Has it at the 25, cuts right, 30. Running room, gets a block, 35, 40. Down the right sideline, midfield. First down in Hooker territory, foot race at the 30, at the 20, at the 15, at the 10, at the 5, and he's going to be shoved into the end zone. Or is he going to be out in the end zone for the touchdown? He was shoved from behind, and his forward progress took him across the goal line on the right side near the pylon, and he's in for the score.
And Mike, on that run, he had fabulous blocking. The other guys that were blocking had to be very careful, turn around, make those blocks so they didn't have a penalty. Played out very well.
74-yard touchdown run for Tanner Johnson, and we saw right there the speed that he has.
And he does have some wheels, and he's just smart about how he runs. He just, he picks, he slows down, he cuts.
Now your Custer City Co-op extra point, which is going to be, in this case, a 2-point conversion with Justin Tharp out this week due to a concussion. We'll talk more about that here in just a few moments. Johnson in shotgun for the 2-point conversion. Wants to throw left, does so. Open, Traver Mannering. Mannering for the left side pylon, and he is in for the score. So the 2-point conversion pass is good from Tanner Johnson to Traver Mannering. Takes it over the left side goal line near the pylon, and the Terriers with an 8-0 lead. 4:25 to play first quarter. Thomas 8, Hooker nothing. This is Thomas Terrier football presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the screen. Thomas Terriers with an 8-0 lead and 4:25 to play in the first quarter. Robert Comstock to kick it off. Will kick it off deep down the middle of the field. It'll be taken at the 13-yard line, up across the 15, out to about the 20, and taken down at the 25-yard line is Ivan Urbis, and it'll be 1st and 10 right there for Hooker.
Taken down by Justin Howe, and came in there. Tanner Johnson was flanked on his right. Hooker player cut to the left, and Howe took him down.
So Hooker has it 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line, down 8-0 to the Thomas Terriers. After the game, we'll name your McDonald's player of the game. It is brought to you by McDonald's of Weatherford, Clinton, and South Main and Elk City. Hooker this time will come out with a 3-receiver set. Twins going to the left side, and shotgun is Dayton Metcalf, and flanked on his right is his running back, Isaiah Vargas. Metcalf will call for the football. This is much easier to see now that the sun's starting to go down. Handoff Vargas. Vargas coming left, running room, 30-yard line, taken down at the 31, and he gets about 6 yards, and a nice little burst of speed by Isaiah Vargas.
Was, and had 2 seniors on the tackle, Comstock and Trenton Mannering there to make that stop.
That last scoring drive for Thomas, 9 plays, 92 yards. Injured player coming off the field for the Hooker Bulldogs. Coming out is Efren Castaneda. Castaneda, the left guard for Hooker. 3-receiver set once again. Same setup with Twins going to the left side. Dayton Metcalf in shotgun, calls for the football. Vargas this time is flanked on his left. Back to passes Metcalf. Here comes the rush. Wants to set up a screen, and he's going to hit Vallis. Vallis over the middle, 40-45. Thomas territory. Breaks the tackle. Taken down inside the 45, and he's down at the 40-yard line.
And Mike, Thomas had that played well. They broke on the ball and tried to intercept it, actually, and Vargas just happened to be in the right place to make the pick and advance that. But Thomas had a good rush on the quarterback. They played it very well. Just unfortunate that the ball slipped into the hooker hand.
29-yard pass play, and again Metcalf wants to throw, and this time on the slant he's going to hit his receiver down to the 30-yard line, and that'll be close to another first down. McBride on the catch. Tyler Freeberg making the tackle for the Thomas Terriers.
And thinking he might have had the ball, it juggled quite a bit, and that ball's kept coming back.
There is a flag down on the play, it looks like, and it's going to be against the Bulldogs. The flag laying at about the 42-yard line.
Dakota McBride was the receiver on the play for the Bulldogs.
Mike in the game for Thomas, a new player from Texas actually moved into Thomas, and
22 yards on the
hadn't seen Christian out very much.
change in field position for the Bulldogs. Brings up first down.
Ball
now,
goes
and
back to the 48-yard line after the holding penalty. First down 22 now for Hooker. Trips going to the right side. Metcalf wants to throw over the middle. Looks for Vallis again. Vallis somehow comes up with the catch, and he's taken down in Thomas territory at the 30-yard line. And again, he's close to a first down. Be one of those right foot, left foot spots to pick up the 1st and 10.
That ball went through 3 Thomas players. I mean, it just they couldn't intercept it, but 3 for Vallis to grab that. Metcalf just threaded the needle on that one.
He needed 22 yards, and he got 22, and a first down for the Hooker Bulldogs in Thomas territory at the 30. 2:57 to play first quarter. Thomas 8, Hooker nothing. Here comes Jacob Johnson in the ball game as a wideout. He'll go to the right side along with McBride. It's a 3-receiver set with Vallis joining the duo over on the right side. Back to pass. Metcalf. Pocket breaks down, throws it in desperation, and a diving attempt at the 21-yard line comes up a bit short. It was intended for Hutton Parsons, the tight end, 6 foot, 170-pound junior.
And the Thomas defenders had Metcalf going backwards when he threw that, and they almost made a completion with Hutton Parsons.
Some way, somehow, the two almost connected. From the 30-yard line with the ball at the left hash, it's 2nd down and 10. 2:34 to go in the first quarter. Thomas 8, Hooker nothing. Hooker, though, driving in Thomas territory with a 2nd down and 10 from the 30. Twin receivers going left. Metcalf on play action. Throws a deep ball for the right side. Hangs it up, and it's incomplete. It was Tyler Freeberg on coverage as he had Dakota McBride, the 5'11", 170-pound senior, blanketed.
Had a bit overthrown, and Freeberg had great position on him. And we have Trent Mannering kind of limping off the field right now.
Tell you what, though, does Dayton Metcalf, though, have a cannon for an arm?
He has a cannon, and it's a very accurate cannon as well.
He can show the arm off very well. From the 30-yard line, 3rd down and 10 for Hooker as they look to the sideline to get to the play with 2:27 to play in the opening quarter. Coming up at halftime, we'll have 2 player profile segments. Tyler Freeberg and also Chris Tallbear from the 30-yard line. 3rd down, 10. Bulldogs bring trips to the left side. They're going to overload that left side, and we've got a whistle.
Flag on the play.
And there's a flag down over on the far side. Still no official indication yet. It's substitution, maybe penalty on Thomas?
It's against the Terriers.
It's against the Terriers.
Can't tell what it
Or was it a sideline warning, maybe?
might have been. A sideline
Because
warning.
they didn't move the football, so it just might have been a sideline warning. 3rd down, 10, trips to the left side for Hooker and Thomas territory at the 30. Dayton Metcalf calls for the ball with Vargas on his left. Back to pass, pressure on, pocket breaks down, and Comstock along with Duncan Dick come in to converge on the sack back at the 33-yard line for a 3-yard loss. And now it's 4th down and 13 for Hooker.
I think Cooper Marsh set that up. He stunted on the right, and it took 4 Bulldogs to stop Cooper Marsh and open that up for the Thomas lineman to take him down.
2:15 to go, first quarter timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. 8-0 Thomas. This is Thomas Terrier football presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the score. On 4th and 13 from the 33 after the timeout, Hooker elects to go for it on a 4-receiver set, twins on each side. Metcalf is in shotgun. Vargas is on his left. Here's the snap of the ball. Back to pass is Metcalf. Stands tall, deep ball, right side. Has a man, and it's caught deep in Thomas territory, and it's good for a first down. Making the catch, Dawson Metcalf, a 5'10", 170-pound sophomore. Moves the chains inside the 10 at the 9, and a 1st and goal for Hooker.
He came off the ground about 3 feet to catch that ball, and what a hookup for them guys right there.
That was a big pass play. It takes it all the way down to the 9-yard line. A 24-yard hookup between Dayton Metcalf and Dawson Metcalf. First down and goal for Hooker in Thomas territory at the 9, inside 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Metcalf this time is going to have Vallis take the snap. He'll go straight up the middle, looks for the goal line. He's in for the touchdown. Jaden Vallis, the direct snap, and he goes 9 yards for the score and makes it 8-6.
He did, and Thomas Terrier had a hold of him, kept pumping those legs, and got on in the end zone.
Jaden Vallis, a very strong runner. Once he gets going north and south, it's hard to stop him. And now the extra point for Hooker. Robbie Wardlow to kick it. Snap back, ball down. Kick is high. It is long. It is good. We've got a 1-point ball game. 1:47 to play first quarter. Thomas 8, Hooker 7. This is Thomas Terrier football presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the score.
Get those in here in the press box. 1:47 to go in the first quarter. Thomas 8.
After Jaden Vallis' 9-yard touchdown run and an extra point, we've got a 1-point ball game with 1:47 to play in the first quarter. Thomas 8
and number 4,
and Hooker 7.
Cody Bates.
It will be Hooker to
Awaiting
kick it off.
escape from the Bulldogs. And number 52, Jesus
Garcia to kick it away. Garcia will approach. Kicks it deep down the middle of the field. Terriers wait on it, and here comes Cody Bates of the 10. Left side 15, 20, 25, picks his way, steps out of the tackle, and he'll get it up to around the 30-yard line before being dumped right there. Actually a pretty good return for
about 12 yards on the return.
the Thomas Terriers.
Yeah, it's a great return, and Bates has shown his speed and talent in previous games, and he can be very elusive at times.
Tanner McBee.
Put the ball down at the 30-yard line. Terriers take it over right there.
The 30. First and 10.
Tanner Johnson with the football. At the 30-yard line with his Terriers. 4 receiver set, twins on each side. Johnson in shotgun with Justin Howe on his right. Johnson calls for the football in shotgun. Low snap at his feet, picks it up. Will try to make the best out of what he can. Goes left 30, 31, 32, maybe 33, and that's it. Maybe giving 3 yards on the play. Pretty good job for Tanner Johnson having to take the snap off of his shoelaces.
It was really a great 3 yards, and actually I think that the play was designed to go to the right, and he looked there, things weren't open, did a little spin around, and got what he could.
3-yard gain for Johnson, make it second down and 7 for the Terriers. 1:10 to play first quarter. 8-7 Thomas.
7 Thomas.
3 receivers set, twins going to the right side. Johnson in shotgun, Howe on his right. Howe gets the fake, and here comes Johnson right up the middle, 35-40, by the 40-yard line, and it'll be dumped at about the 43-yard line. May give him forward progress to the 44, and that'll be a first down for the Thomas Terriers.
Mike, that just shows you that fake. He faked me out, and it's important these other guys play hard, make it look like they have the ball. It opens up that middle for Johnson.
It really does. Put the ball down just across the 43-yard line at the 44. Thomas with a first and 10. Inside a minute to go in the first quarter. 8-7 Thomas. Twin receivers going left, and here's Johnson in shotgun. Johnson right up the middle. 45-46. And dumped right at about the 46-yard line as he picks up a couple of yards, and will bring up second down and long for the Thomas Terriers. And when the play keeps working, you might as well go right back to it, Rodney
And
Wilson.
they're going to keep doing it until they stop him. And, you know, he kind of got, I don't know, it looked like he kind of got steer wrestled down on that one.
Put the ball down at the 47. Second down, 7 for the Terriers. That play will be the last play of quarter number 1. We reach the end of one period of play in Hooker, Oklahoma in the Panhandle. After 1, Thomas 8, Hooker 7. This is Thomas Terrier football, presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the score. 7 for Thomas as we open up the second quarter, and after the first period of play, Hooker with more yards than Thomas, 148 to 114 in total offense. Terriers though with a second down and 7, ball just across the 46-yard line. Twins going to the left side. Motion man. This is Ace Thompson coming to the near side. Handoff, running room, left side. Cooper Marsh with a flag down, takes it to about midfield, fumbles the football, and I believe the Terriers got back on it, though, in Hooker territory at the 49, but there's a flag back at the 42.
Yeah, I think some of the team had stopped once they blew the whistle early and the flag was down, so.
And Coach Patterson now on the field says move them back, and it is a hold on the Thomas Terriers. And some of the stub your toe situations that Thomas has run into has been of their own doing recently.
Yeah, penalties, and you know that's why Coach Ward said we have to get under control. You can't hurt yourself, you know, in the ball game. There's enough things that can not go your way during a ball game. You certainly don't want to, you know, have those self-inflictions.
And this is going to be a big mark off. It's going to go back to the 33-yard line. And when it's all said and done, it's about a 14-yard penalty because you mark the penalty off from where the infraction occurred. Now it's second down 21 from the 33-yard line. Twin receivers each side for Tanner Johnson on first down. Dow Apple in motion. Back to pass Johnson. Swings it out to the left side and taken down at the 35-yard line is Trayvon Mannering. Made the catch, but there were no yards after the catch.
Yeah, it's, you know, you can't do much when you have a guy wrapped up around your feet when you're catching the ball. So
only good for 2 yards after the 35-yard line. Makes it third down. Third down 19 for the Terriers at the 35-yard line. See what Bob Ward and the coaching staff comes up with on third down, and a long way to go. Twin receivers right and left. Johnson is in shotgun. Flanked on his right by Cooper Marsh. Somebody moved early there to stop this play. Might have been Marsh that just went ahead right before the snap of the ball. Procedure against the Thomas Terriers. That's a false start. Back them up 5 more yards. And shades of what we saw in the drive back in the first half against Chisholm last week when they had it first down and 10 from the 11. And before you knew it, it was third down and like 23 from the 24.
yeah, and Thomas needs to get out of this penalty box.
Third down 25, Thomas.
Makes you feel like you're playing hockey, doesn't it? Trips going to the right side for receiver set. Option, pitch, right side. Here comes Marsh. Marsh with some running room. Trying to dodge defenders by the 40, and he's out to about the 41-yard line. Maybe gets progress to the 42. Gets about 12 yards on the play, but he's well shy of the first down. Gets about half of what he needed to pick up the first and 10, so he did not make the line to gain, and that'll bring out the punting unit for the Thomas Terriers.
Marsh really showing his jets there as soon as he turned it north and south. I mean, he was covering some country.
Time to punt now for the Thomas Terriers.
Number 21, Isaiah
It was Tanner Johnson punting earlier in the week in practice.
Trayvon Mannering.
Traver's going to punt it now this time. Gets a low snap, rushes on, but he'll get it away. Over on the right side, it will bounce at the 30. Picked up at the 21-yard line. Sheds one defender up the left sideline, and Vargas is going to be taken down shy of the 35-yard line, but pretty good field position for Hooker.
It was, and what a gutsy play that Vargas made. Comstock was right there and had a hold of him, and he took the ball and off he went.
So Hooker has a first and 10 with the ball at the 34-yard line.
34-yard line of the Bulldogs. And here comes the Bulldog offense.
Wilthy went off the field kind of with the gimpy shoulder, it looked like.
Tell you what, the injury bug has bitten the Thomas Terriers greatly so far early in the season.
Yeah, it's been a piranha this year.
A piranha with big teeth.
Big teeth, yeah.
Twin receivers going to the right side, 3 receiver set, and here comes Metcalf, wants to throw again for Hooker. Pressure is on, pocket breaks down, and Metcalf's going down, back in the backfield beyond the 25-yard line, and he's still on the ground back at about the 23-yard line and slowing getting up as Braden Kester makes the sack, a sophomore for the Thomas Terriers.
And that pocket really broke down, and Metcalf still kind of sucking a little bit of wind. He might have fell on the ball maybe and knocked the air out of him a bit.
Back the ball up to the 24-yard line, loss of 10. Brings up second down, 20 for Hooker. 8-7 Thomas. 9:33 to play first half. From Hooker High School in Hooker, Oklahoma. Dayton Metcalf in shotgun with a helmet high snap. Throws over the middle, lobs it for his receiver, and it's caught by his tight end, Hunter Parsons. Parsons by the 35 out to the 37-yard line and picks up 13 yards. And now we'll make it third down and manageable for Hooker. You know, this Hooker offense is not too bad.
You can certainly tell those guys played a little football together in the schoolyard.
From the 38-yard line, call it third down and 6. For the Bulldogs. Bulldogs getting the play from the sideline. 4 receiver set this time. Trips will go to the left side. 8:40 to play first half. 8-7 Thomas. Metcalf back to pass. Rolling to the right side. Throws on the run, and he hits his intended receiver into Thomas territory down at the 47-yard line. Dawson Metcalf, 5'10", 170-pound sophomore, snags it out of the air and gets a 1st and 10 for Hooker.
Seen that several times from Dawson Metcalf. He has very soft hands and just has a feel for, where the ball's going to be.
16-yard pass play and a first down. And Hooker not afraid to air it out.
No, they're not, and have a great quarterback and receivers that can really place it.
Twin receiver set, single wide each side on first down. Handoff Vargas. Now it's actually going to be a fake to Vargas, and a throw down the right sideline with a penalty flag down. Incomplete pass. Flag is at the 50, and it's a hold on Hooker. And that will likely back them up, as the Terriers will likely decide to take the penalty.
Yeah, probably will, and great coverage from Traber Mannering and Tanner Johnson.
Coming up after the game, we'll name your McDonald's Player of the Game. It is brought to you by McDonald's, Weatherford, Clinton, and South Main and Elk City. Actually, it's going to be an offsetting situation. Hold on Hooker, pass interference on Thomas. We'll replay the down.
Couldn't tell where it was. It wasn't at where the ball was thrown. It must have been before that.
Could have been away from the ball, could have been on the other side of the field. So from the 47 of Thomas, we'll just replay the down. First down 10. Hooker with the ball in Thomas territory, down 8-7 to the Terriers, and 8:05 to play in the first half. 3 receiver set. Fake handoff. Here comes Metcalf carrying the ball. And I'll take it down to the Thomas 40-yard line for a gain of nearly 7 yards. A lot of misdirection in the backfield that time. He had Vallis motioning from right to left, faked it to the running back, and then it was actually Metcalf keeping the ball down to about the 40.
They kind of huddled up back there. You couldn't tell who was going to come off with the ball, but Dow Apple came up with that tackle.
So with the ball at the 40-yard line, second down. Long 3 coming up. Metcalf hands it off. Vallis, not much there initially, and then somehow he squirted through and still lost a yard, though. That really could have been disaster in the backfield.
Braden Kester right there to just wrestle him down.
We've actually called his name a couple of times here in the first half, and he's played pretty well.
Yeah, sophomore coming in there and stepping up to fill the gap.
7 minutes to play first half. 8-7 is the Thomas lead. From the 41-yard line of Thomas, Hooker has a third down and 4. Metcalf wants to throw the ball. Looks, pressure, rolls right, stops, throws back middle, hits Vallis, first down. Inside the 25, inside the 20, taken down at the 18-yard line, and another first down for Hooker.
Yeah, and Metcalf's just very patient. He can just kind of roam around back there. They had good pressure. Thomas did on the quarterback, but he'll just sit there a long time in the pocket and wait for things to develop.
Well, he's also elusive enough to where he can keep the play alive for a while. Rolling right, then he threw back middle, and he found his receiver Vargas. Or, excuse me, found his receiver Ballas, excuse me. Twin receivers each side. First down and 10 from the 18 of Thomas. Handoff on the jet sweep, and here comes Metcalf, and this time it's going to be Dawson Metcalf coming left, takes it inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line and has 5 yards.
Once again, Braden Kester on the tackle. I mean, he is all over the place, being very aggressive for this defense.
Ball at the 13, second down and 5 for Hooker in Thomas territory, threatening to take the lead. We've got a whistle and a timeout taken by Hooker. 6:01 to go first half. Thomas 8, Hooker 7. This is Thomas Terrier football presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the School. Take over 6 minutes left in the first half. Thomas with an 8-7 lead, but Hooker threatening to take the lead. Second down 5 at the Thomas 13-yard line. Trips left. They'll break that with a motion man and come to the right side. Back to pass Metcalf. Metcalf pumps, pulls it down, looking for running room. 10-yard line inside the 10, and he'll be taken down near the 5. Metcalf just keeps the play alive, and then when he has nowhere to throw it, he just takes off and runs.
Yeah, he's going to run, and he's a hard guy to bring down. Brought down by number 5, Christian Boyette.
And Dayton Metcalf picks up 8 yards and a first and goal from the Thomas 5-yard line, and the Thomas defense has got to come up with something big here.
And Thomas defense really looking, they're looking good, Mike. They're covering things. The play stays alive a long time.
Metcalf this time is under center. Metcalf hands it off and going over the left side inside the 5-yard line near the 3 is going to go to Jesus Garcia. He's actually a lineman who sometimes goes in the backfield and carries the ball. He got a couple of yards down to the 3-yard line. I guess that's what you call your big person.
Yeah, that's your big, that's your big unit. They used to call it the fridge coming in,
Yeah. And again, Metcalf under center this time. Rolling right, pressure's on, lobs for the right side of the end zone, looks for his receiver, and it's Jaden Vallis, the intended receiver in the right corner of the end zone, but he comes up empty. It'll be third down and goal with the ball just inside the 3-yard line.
Cooper Marsh came in there and took Metcalf down, and Metcalf still got off a very nice pass.
So the Thomas Terrier defense trying to come up with a stand, as the Terriers right now have a 8-7 lead and 4:55 to go in the first half. Let's see what Hooker brings to the line on third down and goal. Metcalf hands it off, and nowhere to run that time for the Hooker Bulldogs. Kevin Alvarado had nowhere to go, and it's going to bring up fourth down and goal as he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 5-yard line.
For Kevin Alvarado and the
So if you're Hooker, do you try to kick and take the lead, or you're going to go for 6?
I don't know. It seems like most of their big plays have been pass plays. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground.
Play clock down to 15, and Hooker still looking to the sideline. Makes you think they might run it down here, take a timeout with still over 4 minutes to go in the first half, and talk about their options. And I think that's what they're going to do.
Coaching?
And that's what they're going to do. They'll take the timeout with 4:10 to go in the first half. 8-7 Thomas. This is Thomas Terrier football presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the Score. Hooker has decided to go for the field goal to take the lead. Robbie Wardlaw to try the field goal to put it down at the 13 and make it a 23-yard field goal attempt. This would give the Bulldogs the lead with 4:10 to play first half. Snap is back, ball is down, rushes on, and the kick is straight on, and it is good. Robbie Wardlaw hits the 23-yard field goal with 4:04 to go first half, and Hooker takes a 10-8 lead on the Thomas Terriers. This is Thomas Terrier football presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the Score. 23-yard field goal from Robbie Wardlaw for Hooker makes it a 10-8 lead for Hooker, and 4:04 to go in the first half, Robbie.
Yeah, and on the extra point he kicked and it's straight ahead, and good call for Hooker.
Ease it up for the Bulldogs.
Hooker now to kick it off. Terriers with twins that are back deep. It's going to come down at the 14-yard line. And here comes Justin Howe looking for running room. 20, 25-yard line and upended right there. Terriers are about 75 yards from the end zone.
They are, and don't have the greatest field position, but better than we have seen in the past. So we'll see what they come out with and see if they can do some scoring here with 3:58 in the second, behind 10-8.
Terriers down a deuce, 10-8 with 3:58 to play first half. First and 10 from their own 25-yard line. 5 receiver set with trips going to the right side. Empty set for quarterback Tanner Johnson, who's back to pass. Johnson pulls it down. He wants to run. Has some open space, and he's taken down in open territory right at the line of scrimmage. Taken down by Jesus Garcia right at the 25-yard line. May get about 1 to the 26 if he's lucky.
And that looked really open, and Garcia closed the gap in a hurry.
And if you're a lineman and you're going to run down Tanner Johnson, you've got some pretty good speed.
You do have good speed, that's for sure.
Second down, 9 from the 26-yard line. 3.5 to go first half. Terriers down 2, 10-8. Twins going each side on second down. Johnson flanked on his left, this time by Justin Howe. Hands it off on the jet sweep. Ace Thompson looks for blocking, doesn't get it. Dayton Metcalf turns it right back inside, and it's a loss back to the 23-yard line, and a loss of 3. Nowhere to go that time for Ace Thompson. The defensive hooker read the jet sweep.
In the first quarter, Ace had quite a bit of success with that play.
Third down for the Terriers. Third down and a dozen. Ball just over the 23-yard line. 5 receiver set. Trips going left this time. Empty set for Tanner Johnson. Johnson wants the football. Johnson calls for it, and he's got it on his shoelaces. Throws left side, and he hits his receiver, but Dow Apple goes down immediately at the 26-yard line, and it's only good for about 3 yards, and the Terriers have to punt it away and give it right back to Hooker right before halftime.
Kind of a low pass there came to Dow Apple, and he just couldn't do much with it besides pick it up.
Fourth down and a punting situation for the Terriers as Trevor Mannering comes on to punt it away. Twin safeties are back deep. Isaiah Vargas along with Dawson Metcalf for Hooker. See what Mannering can do. Helmet high snap. Pressure's on. He gets it away, but it's a bad punt. Straight up. Everybody scatters. It bounces at the 35, and it takes a Hooker roll back inside the 30, down at about the 27-yard line. Are you kidding me? A 1-yard punt.
He had heavy pressure from that right side, and they got into his foot a little bit, Mike, and it was almost a blocked punt. And then it hit the ground and had the backward spin to it.
Looks like a golf shot that would check up on you.
Yeah, I've had a few of those.
I haven't had any of those. I can't get it off the tee.
Can't get it off the tee. Well,
that's a problem. I mean, you know, if I was doing baseball and, you know, hitting grounders at the shortstop, I'd be all right at it, but no dice in me getting the thing in the air. Twin receivers right and left for Hooker on the first down play, and Metcalf wants to throw. Metcalf looking, pumping, pulling it down. Now he'll run 25, and he'll take it down to the 23-yard line as he picks up 4 yards when there was really nothing available.
And really a great save by Cody Bates. You know, he went to the outside, Metcalf went to the inside, and Bates hand tackled him. I mean, that was a jersey tackle.
Quickly to the line with 90 seconds to go in the first half. Hooker with a 4 receiver set, twins each way. Here's Metcalf wanting to throw. Metcalf throws across the middle, and it's nearly picked off, and then it's caught on the deflection inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Cody Bates had an opportunity to pick it off, and coming up with the reception, Dakota McBride, a 5'11", 170-pound senior.
We've got a flag.
And a flag
is down, though, and that might wipe it out. And it's going to be on Hooker. What a great play by McBride off of the deflection of what should have been a Thomas interception.
Yeah, it was a great catch, but you could tell they were held up at the line. The Thomas lineman just couldn't get through, and I think that's where the hold came from.
Penalty goes back to the 33-yard line on a hold.
Minute 15 left in the half.
Hooker to the line of scrimmage. Back to pass Metcalf. Metcalf has the pocket breakdown. He goes down back near the 40-yard line. There was nowhere to go. And again, guess who was in on the sack? Braden Kester.
And Cooper Marsh. And Kester's just having a great game. He's really busted it up, and the the Hooker line on his side is having a hard time containing him.
Loss of 7 back to the 40-yard line. And for Hooker, this drive is going in the wrong direction. 40 seconds to go in the first half. Hooker, though, with a 10-8 lead. 35 seconds to go first half. Twin receivers each side for Dayton Metcalf. Metcalf back to pass. Metcalf, a long look, pressure's on. He gets away, rolls right from the 40, wants to chuck it. He's across the 40. He'll throw it and hit his intended receiver. I don't know if he's out of bounds or not. A flag is down because I believe Metcalf was across the line of scrimmage when he threw it. He did hit Dakota McBride on the right sideline, which would have put it inside the 20-yard line. But again, an illegal forward pass, I believe, is going to bring it back.
And his feet were in, actually, and then the ball got knocked loose. McBride coming off, just hurt just a little bit.
17 seconds to go in the half. That was a 3rd down 23 play back to the 40-yard line. But this is going to be an illegal forward pass that will back up Hooker, and I believe that's a loss of down as well.
Across the line of scrimmage after he threw the ball. And the penalty goes against the Bulldogs. 5 more yards back to the 45-yard line now. Official timeout.
So the penalty being the illegal forward pass.
Bringing them back to the 45 and 4th down.
Bulldog punt team on the field.
Punting situation for the Bulldogs. So 17 seconds.
Hooker will punt it away. It's a good snap, good punt. High punt will bounce at the 17. It'll be down at the 15-yard line. Thomas will have it right there with 11 seconds to play in the half. So the Terriers will have it 1st and 10, and we'll see what they decide to do with it.
Efren Castaneda, your punter on the play for the Bulldogs.
Mike, do you play it safe or do you go for it? And really try to air the ball out with 10 seconds?
Down 2 points and getting the ball to start the second half.
At their own 15.
I think you probably cut your losses right here at the 15-yard line and go in and talk about it. 10 seconds to go in the half. But it's a 5-receiver set. Trips going to the right side for Tanner Johnson in a nifty set. Johnson hands it off to Dow Apple and a jet sweep coming right. 15, 20, upended right there after a 5-yard gain by Dawson Metcalf, and that is the last play of the first half. We'll go to the locker room in a low-scoring ball game at halftime in Hooker, Oklahoma, where the hometown Hooker Bulldogs lead the Thomas Terriers at halftime 10-8. Score of note, O'Keene looking for their first win of the season. They lead Crooked Oak in the second quarter 24-7, and again, we'll bring you more scores throughout the second half and during our post-game show, which will be fueled by ASAP General Store in Thomas. All right, Ronnie, as we go to the second half, Terriers get first crack at it.
Let's get this game lit up, Mike, and see what these Terriers have.
All right, Hooker with it on the tee. They're ready to kick it off. Terriers have twin safeties that are back deep at about the 10-yard line. Cody Bates on the near side. Justin Howe over on the far side. Jesus Garcia to kick it off. And here we go. Ball is in the air. It'll go far side. It will bounce at the 20-yard line. It'll go out of bounds, and Thomas is going to get the ball at the 35-yard line.
Flags are flying.
So the Terriers will get the ball in pretty good field position, Rodney.
Yeah, it gives them a good start. They're going into the wind a little bit, but it's a gentle breeze, and probably won't make a lot of difference. Last week we had a north wind that, could move cars, it seemed like.
So from the 35-yard line, Terriers have it 1st and 10. Thomas looking for the drive here in the early stages of the third quarter. That will give them the lead once again. They led 8-0, led 8-7, and now Hooker with a 10-8 lead as we open up the third quarter. 4 receiver set with twins each side, and Tanner Johnson in shotgun, flanked on his right by Cooper Marsh. Let's see if we get some straight ahead running from Marsh and see what happens. He's got the ball, he'll bring it left, and there he goes with a head of steam. He's got 5, he's got 10, and he's got about 12 yards out to the 37-yard line.
And there was a Bulldog that got introduced to how fast and hard Cooper Marsh can hit, and he mowed him over at the 5-yard mark and got another 6.
Number 11.
Put the ball down at the 48-yard line, 13-yard gain for Cooper Marsh. Trips coming to the right side in a 5-receiver set. Tanner Johnson in an empty set by himself in the backfield. Fakes the jet sweep. He's right up the middle. Midfield and taken down at the 49-yard line in Hooker territory. And he'll pick up about 3 yards. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 7. So Tanner Johnson, a nice fake to Dow Apple on the jet sweep, and then he takes it for 3 yards.
And the Bulldogs linebackers are very disciplined, staying at home, waiting on that play. So you can tell they've watched film and did their homework.
Quickly to the line, the Terriers now with Trips going to the left side. Marsh will flank Johnson on his right and shotgun. Marsh fumbles the ball. It's on the ground. There's a fight for it. I believe Johnson came up with it, and he did. Recovered the fumble in his own territory at about the 48-yard line.
Like you see these two teams go at it real hard, but you also see the sportsmanship, you know, the Bulldog players sitting there after that little pile helping up the Terriers, and the Terriers doing the same thing. So a lot of mutual respect, good clean ball game.
4-yard loss back to the 47-yard line, brings up 3rd down, nearly 11. Johnson in shotgun, runs option right up the middle, looking for 1st down yardage. He'll get it by the 45 of Hooker down to about the 44, and he's still about a yard and a half shy of the 1st down. That'll bring up 4th down, and I can bet right here that Coach Bob Ward, with this pretty good-looking drive, is going to go for it.
Yeah, and they're not lining up to go for it, and they're in that quick set run to get that snap off and make this deal happen.
All right, let's see what Johnson can do with it. He'll call for the football on 4th down. Terriers go for it at the 44 of Hooker. And we've got a whistle and a flag, and this might be offside on Hooker.
Little freeze play.
And that's what it is. That'll be a free 5 and a 1st down for the Thomas Terriers.
5 yards.
If you can get the freeze play to work, more power to you, right?
Hey, they made it work right there, and just a different snap count, and caught a Bulldog off guard.
1st down and 10 for the Terriers. Ball at the 39-yard line of Hooker. Terriers on the go-ahead drive of the ball game with 10 minutes straight up and down to go in the 3rd. 10-8 Hooker. Trips on the left side, single wide to the right on a 4-receiver set. Johnson calls for the ball. Marsh on his right. Here comes option. Johnson's going to keep. He's got running room. He's at the 35-yard line, inside the 35, taken down at the 33-yard line, and he's got about 6 yards on the play. That was a nice little option that time as he faked the pitch out to Marsh that time, decided to keep it, and took it inside.
Took him down by Dayton Metcalf, the quarterback. Typically the quarterback, not on the defensive side.
2nd down and 5 now.
Put the ball down officially at the 34-yard line. A 5-yard gain makes it 2nd down 5 for the Terriers. 4-receiver set this time, twins on each side, and Tanner Johnson in shotgun with Marsh on his left this time. Gives it to Marsh, and Marsh looking for running room right up the middle. 30-yard line, 25, ahead of steam, inside the 20, and he's down at the 19-yard line. He's got 15 more yards, and boom, just like that, the Terriers have a 1st down.
And Dawson Metcalf there to make the stop, and took a little bit of punishment doing it, but Cooper head on.
When Cooper Marsh gets that head of steam going, that is something that the Thomas Terriers like to see. Timeout on the field, 9:09 to play 3rd quarter. 10-8 Hooker. This is Thomas Terrier football presented by Wheeler Brothers Greenlands. Terriers come to the line of scrimmage with a 1st and 10 from the Hooker 19-yard line. 9:09 to play 3rd quarter, and Thomas trailing by 2, 10-8. 5-receiver set, Trips going left. Empty set for Tanner Johnson in shotgun. Johnson calls for the ball. Has it, chest high, hands it off jet sweep. Here comes Ace Thompson around the left side 15, gets a block at the 10, and shoves Traber Mannering and says, get out of my way, and he gets to about the 6-yard line. Traber was out there trying to throw a block. Ace tried to run through, and he said, will you move?
Well, he did, and then he went, it looked like he was heading for the sticks on the sideline. He said, no way, I'm staying in, and I'm going to give me an extra 3 yards.
Parsons, number 12, that would make the stop.
Terriers get the football inside the 10-yard line to the 6. Terriers have a 1st and goal after the jet sweep. That's good for 13 yards. Terriers to the line of scrimmage. 4-receiver set. Trips going left side. Johnson has Marsh on his right in the backfield and shotgun. Johnson calls for the ball. Oh, it's a bad snap. He somehow snags it, hands it off to Marsh, and he still gets about a yard to the 5-yard line. That's getting something out of what was a bad snap and could have been nothing.
Yeah, it could have been a fumble, could have been a lot of things that we don't even want to talk about. And he converted it, made a yard, and 2nd down 5.
So 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line for the Terriers. Looking to take the lead.
2nd down,
nearing 8 minutes to go 3rd quarter. Twins going left. Tanner Johnson this time with Marshall on his left and shotgun. This time Johnson right up the middle over the left side. He is in the end zone for the touchdown. Tanner Johnson runs 5 yards over the left side of the line, which opened up a big hole. Terriers regained the lead with 8:02 to play in the third quarter. It is 13-10 Terriers. Excuse me, that should be 14-10 Terriers. So it is a 14-10 lead for Thomas. And now they look to the sideline. I believe they're going to go for two here. Bob Ward signaling the play in.
The Terriers will go for two.
So the Terriers look to go for two after the 5-yard touchdown run by Tanner Johnson. Johnson snap of the ball. And he'll fake the jet sweep, and he's going to run it in for the 2-point conversion on the left side. And the Terriers have a 16-10 lead. 8:02 to play in the third quarter. Terriers by 6, 16-10. This is Thomas Terrier football presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the score. Robert Comstock with the kick down the middle of the field. Vargas has it, 25 left side, 30, and he'll bring it past the 35-yard line. He's up near the 40, putting down near the 39-yard line, and a pretty good return for Isaiah Vargas and the Hooker Bulldogs.
I tell you, both of these teams, over halftime, they decided, hey, we're going to start running, and we're going to make something happen.
First and 10.
And you sure see it. A lot faster paced game on both sides of the ball.
Mark the ball down just shy of the 40-yard line. First and 10 for Hooker. Bulldogs now trailing Thomas with 7:57 to play third quarter, 16-10. Metcalf will go with a 4-receiver set. Twins on each side. This time he's going to hand it off. Vargas looking for running room. And it's going to be actually Metcalf keeping the ball. And he gets back to about the line of scrimmage. And that's about it. May have gotten a half yard. It'll be second down and long.
I tell you what, they have just great technique. They hold the ball in a long time. See if that gap closes. Metcalf pulls the ball, goes to the outside.
Being up this high, you would think you would see it a lot better developed, but boy, they are so elusive with the football.
They are, and you just don't see it.
3-receiver set, Twins going to the left side, shotgun formation. Here's Dayton Metcalf calling for the ball. And this time on play action, he wants to throw. Rolls left, rolls back right, throws in desperation, hits his receiver by the 40-yard line out to the 42 and maybe 43-yard line. And there's really not much there, but still a little bit of running room that time for Jesus Garcia. And Garcia able to get about 3, but there is a flag on the play at the 40-yard line.
Metcalf just does an impressive job. He will hold that ball. I mean, he was going down and made that throw.
And he had a couple, 2 or 3 Terriers on him when he did it.
Well, and they were coming at him pretty hard, too. I mean, he took a pretty good hit.
And that just shows his strength, being able to get rid of the ball. Penalty is called on
an illegal receiver.
An illegal receiver on Hooker, and it's a loss of down.
Pass caught by a lineman. That'll be.
And the whole team has good hands. I mean, the line's catching the ball, everyone's catching it for the Bulldogs tonight.
Penalty at the 25-yard line now. Bulldogs looking at.
So it's a loss of down.
25.
And we've seen this 3rd and 25 before from the Bulldogs, and they can make this up in one play with the arm of Metcalf and the receivers he has out there in the field.
3rd down 25 with the ball back at about the 25-yard line. Back to passes Metcalf. Rolling to the right side. Gets away from pressure. Throws in desperation. The short hops it at the 40-yard line. And there were a couple of defenders there for the Thomas Terriers. He was looking for Isaiah Vargas, his intended receiver, but really never had an opportunity to get it to him. And Hooker now has to punt.
Metcalf shed a potential quarterback sack of a Terrier there. I didn't get the number, but just shed him off to make that throw.
In comes number 58 for Hooker.
So the Thomas Terriers will get the football on the punt. Terriers with a 16-10 lead.
Back deep, awaiting Efren Castaneda's punts, number 3.
Castaneda with a high snap and barely gets it away under pressure. High punt. Terriers scattered. That checks up like a golf shot that you'd see that would go on the green. That is one that we saw earlier. Yeah. That's right. He would shoot. That's right. And it'll be down in Hooker territory at about the 42-yard line.
So a couple unfortunate punts have happened in this game. One in the Terriers in the first half and starting off the second half. That punt was almost blocked, kind of bobbled, high snap, late to get off, and then once it hit, then it came back towards the Hooker Bulldogs.
Only a 17-yard punt. Terriers take it over at the 43-yard line. They'll go with a 4-receiver set, and trips are on the left side. And shotgun, Tanner Johnson. Johnson fakes it to Howe, and then he'll keep it right up the middle and take it down to the 35-yard line of Hooker. Johnson running that ball with authority right now for the Thomas Terriers. I would say more decisive right now more than anything.
They are in both sides of the ball, Mike, on the offensive side of the ball when the Bulldogs have it or the Terriers have it. Their fakes are riding hard, and it's keeping people at home, giving each team that half a step advantage.
Second down and a long 2 for the Terriers. 6:16 to play third quarter. Terriers up 6. 4-receiver set, twins on each side. Johnson right up the middle. Johnson looking for running room. That hole closes quickly. He gets about a yard, and he's shy of the first down. So he's still got a little bit of work to do on third down.
Yeah, still about 3rd and 1, but a lot better position than the Terriers have had in the first half. Field position.
3rd down and 1.
5:50 to play third quarter. Thomas 16, Hooker 10. After the game, we'll name your McDonald's player of the game. Brought to you by McDonald's, Weatherford, Clinton, and South Main and Elk City. We'll also get you up to date on scores a little later on this half and during our post-game show. Trips left, 4-receiver set. 3rd down. Call it 1. Johnson, direct snap, right over the left side. That's how he scored his touchdown, and he's got the first down over the 30 down to around the 27-yard line. So the Terriers right now really leaning on the defensive line of Hooker.
They are, and the Terrier line really doing their job, coming alive, and there's a lot of beef up front. And you see Johnson kind of hide behind it sometimes and follow him, but there's a lot of big men up there up front, and it seems like they're kind of catching their pace.
Terriers with the ball at the Hooker, 27-yard line and a first down. 5:10 to play in the third. Terriers up 6, 16-10. Johnson wants the football in shotgun. Marsh on his right. Marsh now with the handoff coming left. Marsh, not much running room after about a yard, maybe a half yard, not much there. He might have gotten to about the 26-yard line, but that's all. Be generous and give him 1, and that hole that was there on the left side closed quickly, and Hooker good defensively right there to slam the door.
Yeah, the outside in really turned the play back in before Marsh really wanted to come in.
And the one thing is, if you're trying to defend Cooper Marsh, you want to catch him before he really gets that speed going downhill.
Yeah, if he gets going frontwards, he's like a Mack truck.
Trips left, 4-receiver set, 2nd down and 9 at the 26. Johnson fumbled the ball on the snap, picks it up, goes left. He snowed under in the backfield. Back at the 34-yard line, there is a penalty flag down. And we'll see what this is all about. At about the 30-yard line, it's on the Terriers.
Bad break on a good drive, for sure.
Not what you need. Again, stubbing your toe.
Holding declined at 3rd down.
So it is going to be a loss on the play. Back to the 35-yard line. So Hooker decides to take the play, which was a loss of 9. 3rd down, 18 for the Terriers. Ball at the 35 of Hooker. Terriers up 16-10. Trips left side in the 4-receiver set. 4:10 to play in the third. Terriers up 6. Back to pass Johnson. Pumps. Now we'll pull it down. Johnson really nowhere to go. Scrambling left 30, 25, running room 20. First down. And he'll get it inside the 20-yard line down to about the 15. And he picks up 20 yards and a first down. And that's all Tanner Johnson right there.
And you see the Jets, but everyone stayed on their blocks. The receivers were still trying to get loose. Looked like they were going to squeeze him out in the middle of the line. Kicked it up, lit the fire, and here we go.
Cut him out of bounds at the 16-yard line. A 19-yard run on 3rd down and 18 for Tanner Johnson. And the Terriers in business again. 3:58 to play, third quarter. Terriers up 6, 16-10. Same formation this time. Trips left, single wide right. Johnson with the ball. Johnson runs option, pitches. Marsh loses the ball, picks it up, runs right. 20-15, 10-5, penalty flag, touchdown, 2 flags. It's coming back. Oh, it was a nice play, though. It was a bad pitch. Marsh picked it up off the ground, nearly walked into the end zone. but a hold on the offensive line will bring it back.
Wow. I can't believe, Mike, you impressed me. You kept up. I mean, you got the flag. You got 2 flags in there, touchdown, ball on the ground.
We'll bring it back.
Good job, my guy.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
There you go.
Here. Look in here. How many big bucks are in there?
Yeah, it's a little dry.
I don't know.
We do it because we love it.
You betcha. It's like McDonald's.
There you go. I'm loving it. Well, that's good stuff on both sides of the ball right there. You see, just, you know, second and third effort.
Well, penalty when it's all said and done is only a 5-yard penalty, though. Takes it back to the 21-yard line. Terriers, though, with a first down and 15 at the 21. Marsh with the handoff, 20, steps out of the tackle, 15, breaks another tackle, 10, breaks another tackle, 5, and he's in the end zone for the touchdown. That was all Cooper Marsh.
It was. I mean, he could have been 2 inches off the ground and just kept bulldozing.
That was Cooper Marsh playing like a man possessed. Puts it in the end zone for the score, and 3:40 to go in the third quarter. There's an injured Hooker Bulldog on the field. We'll take a timeout. Thomas Terriers with a 22-10 lead. This is Thomas Terrier football. And actually, we're going to keep it right here. We thought that might go a little bit longer with the injury timeout. Instead, we'll keep it here until after the conversion.
It's Jesus Garcia limping off.
And that's the second time I believe he's been attended to tonight.
Had a hard position at linebacker. He's taking some pretty good shots.
That's right. Terriers are going to go for 2. They've been successful twice so far tonight.
Christian Boyette back.
Twins to the left side. There goes Tanner Johnson straight ahead, and Johnson looking for the goal line in the 2-point conversion, and he's in. Terriers take a 24-10 lead and 3:40 to go in the third quarter. This is Thomas Terrier football presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the score. Thomas Terriers to kick off with a 2-touchdown lead, 24-10. 3:40 to play here in the third quarter. That's a pooch kick. It's a long ball, and the Terriers have hit a Hooker player, and then they'll pick it up. Will Hooker, and here goes Vargas. Vargas at the 30, Vargas at the 40, Vargas in Thomas territory at the 40, at the 30, and he'll be tracked down from behind by Dow Apple at the 20-yard line. That had disaster written all over it for Hooker, and they turn near disaster into something great. They get the ball at the Thomas 20-yard line.
Holy Toledo, what a bulldog.
Are you kidding me?
A Comstock helmet sandwich. Ball pops up. Sia picks it up down the sideline off in a foot race. Dow Apple ran him down and pushed him out. I mean, that thing had 2 turns and a few other things in that play.
Tell you what, you put that in the end zone on that return right there, and what does that do for momentum for Hooker late in the third quarter? 3.5 to play in the third. Thomas with a 2-touchdown lead, 24-10. But you don't want to go away on this one because Hooker right now is in point-blank range. Now the officials coming together to talk about something.
And that's just that can-do attitude, you know. I mean, both teams are just, you know, they want this game. They want the W.
Hooker 2-1 on the season. Thomas 2-1 on the season, and both playing their first district game of the season. Metcalf hands it off, and this time Metcalf gets about 3 yards to the 17-yard line.
Is 21 Isaiah Vargas.
Isaiah Vargas actually is the player who ran the ball this time.
63 Brayton Kester.
3 yards to the 17-yard line. Second down, 7. Hooker wants this touchdown bad and make it a 1-score ball game going to the 4th.
They do, and you know, surprising Hooker's been on the ground more this half.
3 minutes straight up and down to go in the third. 24-10 Thomas. 4 receiver set, twins going each side. This is like a pistol formation this time with Vargas right behind the quarterback Metcalf, who's back to pass. Pressure is on. He'll tuck it under. Now he'll throw, and he hits his receiver inside the 10-yard line. And near the 5-yard line, it'll be Jacob Johnson making the catch, and it's a 1st and goal for Hooker at the 5-yard line of Thomas. And again, that's nothing more than Dayton Metcalf keeping the play alive.
He will hold the ball a long time and make something out of nothing.
From the 5-yard line, it's 1st down and goal for Hooker. 2.5 to play in the third. Thomas Terriers with a 2-touchdown lead, 24-10. Hand handoff, and coming right this time, getting inside the 5 to about the 2 or 3 yard line is Kevin Alvarado. Alvarado gets 2 to the 3 yard line. And when you get down this deep into Thomas territory, the rushing can be difficult.
It can be, but Thomas has been tough in the goal line stand. They saw that earlier in the game.
So from the 3, it's 2nd down and goal. 2 minutes straight up and down to go in the 3rd. Thomas, 24, Hooker, 10. We'll go under center, and once again,
Handoff up the middle.
handoff. And not much running room this time. Maybe a yard to about the 2 yard line. Trying to see who's on the bottom of the pile that time.
Looked like a busted
72
play.
and number 60 helping make
Alvarado again
goal line stand for Thomas
with the run.
For Royalty. And
So make it a 1 yard gain to the 2 yard line.
A lot of
3rd
people-
down and goal at the 2.
Comstock back in. You see a lot of substitutions.
There's a lot of bodies down there
There
right
are.
now. There's a lot of bodies right at about that line of scrimmage, and they're all jammed up right now. Not much area in which to roam. Here goes Metcalf. Metcalf on the sign roll left is going to lose a couple yards back to the 5 yard line.
brought down from behind.
Good play that time by Justin Howe for the Thomas Terriers.
Nice open field tackle, Justin Howe.
They're really stacking the inside. Metcalf trying to roll out to get out of the pressure. And Howe was there to take him down.
4th and goal from the 5 yard line now for Hooker after the 3 yard loss. And the Bulldogs going for it, down 2 touchdowns. 37 seconds to play in the 3rd, and the clock running. Thomas by 14, 24-10. 4 receivers set, Twins each way. Metcalf back to pass, rolling right, jumps, throws, it is tipped, it is incomplete. Pass broken up by Blake Moore in the end zone. It was intended for Dakota McBride. And the Thomas Terriers take over on downs as the defense holds.
And how many times have you seen that hook up? You know, you have Dakota McBride, you have Metcalf that have hooked up all night long, and it tipped his hands, and the Terriers were there to kind of push him and make it come loose.
Terriers will get it 1st and 10 from their own 5 yard line with 20 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Thomas with a 2 touchdown lead, 24-10. With Rodney Wilson, I'm Mike Smith. We're in the Panhandle tonight in Hooker, Oklahoma. We welcome you to Thomas Terrier football here on The Score. Johnson in shotgun. Johnson going left side is going to be met immediately and nowhere to go. Colton Powell, a 5'8", 220-pound junior, stacks him up for a loss of about 2 or 3 yards back to about the 3 yard line. Loss of a couple anyway.
Dangerous territory, and just heard a bulldog growling.
That Bulldog was growling because he made a good play, and the defense didn't make a good play, and that's the way we end the 3rd quarter. After 3, it is a Thomas 14-point lead, 24-10 over Hooker. This is Thomas Terrier football, presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on The Score. Going to the 4th quarter, Thomas Terriers up by 2 scores, 24-10.
Yeah, what a change of tides we saw after halftime, and you know, in these two teams. The Bulldogs go into at halftime ahead, come back out, a few personnel changes, and you know, it's just some grit, just pure grit coming into the game.
First play of the 4th quarter finds Thomas with a 2nd down and 12 back at the 3 yard line. Terriers with some wide splits this time in shotgun. And with it is Johnson. Johnson's going to hand it off on a jet sweep. Not much running room, but getting up to about the 6 yard line for the Terriers is going to be Justin Howe, and the sophomore gets the Thomas Terrier offense a little bit of breathing room.
The Terrier offense, yeah, just looking for a little room to be able to function, and that's pretty scary when you're back in the zone back there, and they got a taste of that against Alva when Thomas had a safety on them.
Ball at the 6 yard line, 3rd down 9 for the Terriers. Terriers will go with some wide splits once again. Twins going to the far side. Johnson, quarterback draw, looks for some running room, has room, 10 yard line, up to the 15, breaks tackle 20, right sideline 25, driven out of bounds up near the 30 yard line, and that would give Thomas plenty of room as the Terriers are able to get it out to the 30 yard line, but there is a flag down back at the 5, and it's a hold on the Terriers. That will wipe out a nice 24 yard run by Tanner Johnson.
as we await the
Yeah, the
call.
penalty department's really racked up against the Terriers this evening.
Terriers walking back to
And
the
that
line.
will be a half the distance penalty back to about the 3-yard line.
Against the offense.
Kind of back to the point in the beginning where we started this fourth quarter.
So it'll be 3rd down and about a dozen at the 3-yard line for the Terriers.
To the goal, 3rd down
11-11 to go in the ball game.
and 12.
It's Thomas by 14, 24-10. It was only a 10-8 ball game at halftime in favor of Hooker. Terriers again going with that wide split right there.
Yeah, they're just opening up some room, making it harder for Hooker to cover it.
Johnson again in his end zone calling for the football. Hands it off, and it's a jet sweep coming left. Here comes Howe. Howe at the 10, Howe out near the 15, down at the 14-yard line. Maybe the 13's where the knee went down. Gets about 10 yards, but he's a couple yards shy of the first down.
Number 88, and Justin Howe running
So Howe will at least give the Terriers
left, gets out
some room to punt the football.
About 4th and 2.
Dayton Metcalf makes the stop for the Bulldogs.
4th and a couple from the 13, but
2 yards short of the first down.
Terriers will have to punt it away.
Special teams in the on the right. Isaac
Traver
Barnes,
Mannering
21.
to punt it away for the Thomas Terriers. See if he can get away a good punt this time. He had one earlier that was nearly blocked and
Traver
only
Mannering,
went for 1 yard.
the punter for Thomas.
Vargas standing at midfield to return it for Hooker. Pretty good snap, not much rush. High kick, end over end. Bounces at the 43, 45. Rolls down at the 49-yard line. Pretty good punt that time by Traver Mannering, but Hooker will take it over in Thomas territory at the 49, but given the circumstances, not too bad of a punt. Punt will roll 36 yards, no return.
And Mike, just to show the hustle of this Thomas defense, it was Duncan Dick, one of the bigger linemen, first one down there to pick the ball up, make the tackle.
I'll tell you what, Duncan Dick is not a small guy, 6'3", 250 pounds, and a senior.
10 minutes to go in the game. Bulldogs.
And he has some wheels.
He can motor it down the field. From the 49 of Thomas, Hooker has it 1st and 10. 4 receiver set, trips are going left this time. Metcalf throws it in the backfield, left side. Here goes Vargas. Vargas running room by the 45 of Thomas to about the 43.
Swing pass to the left, 21, Isaiah.
Vargas really turning it on too. He can turn that speed up as well.
Bounces way out
About a
of
6-yard gain.
bounds. The 45 to 44.
Let's see where they're going to put it down, especially at the 44. Good for 5 yards, 2nd down and 5. Actually, I was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, so it's actually a run play.
2nd down and 5.
Trips this time will come to the right side in a 4 receiver set. Metcalf, he pumps, wants to throw right, nowhere to go, tucks it under and runs. 40, 35 of Thomas, 30, open territory, 20, at the 10, at the 5, left pylon, end zone, touchdown.
Coming back though, flag, big hold there at the 35.
Down at the 44.
So the flag is down at the 35-yard line. That's going to wipe 6 off the board after a scramble that covered 44 yards for quarterback Dayton Metcalf.
Flags on the field.
And with the ball at the, with the flag at the 34-yard line, it's only going to bring it back to about the line of scrimmage when it's all said and
Yeah,
done.
and it was evident. It was more than a hold. It was kind of a tackle.
More of a takedown is what you're telling me?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really have to, wonder if it really happened or not.
I say. You'll know it when you see the film.
You're going to do it good.
Well, we've seen a few of those before.
Yeah, we have.
9:38 to play in regulation. Thomas by 2 touchdowns, 24-10. Terriers looking to go 1-0 in district play, and it would be huge for them to get a district win on the road out here in the Panhandle and go 1-0 in
It
district play.
would, and this play right here shows you how easy and how explosive this Bulldog team is, and that they can put points on the board, really quick in one play.
So from the line of scrimmage, it's only a 5-yard penalty. Backs it up to the 49-yard line when it's all said and done. So it's 2nd down and call it 10 at the 49-yard line. So it did not hurt Hooker too much on the penalty. Metcalf throws deep, has a man running wide open, and it's going to be knocked away by the Thomas Terrier secondary. Great play in the secondary by the Terriers. Could not tell if it was Blake Moore. I believe it was Moore that knocked it away in the secondary for the Terriers because there was a receiver just running wide open down the middle of the field.
Moore made a wonderful cut, almost had an Oski play on that, Mike. I mean, he just barely, the ball was a little bit out in front of him. It was in his hands. He just couldn't quite hold on to it. So it was a little more than just a knockdown. It's a dangerous position for the Bulldogs.
3rd down 10 for Hooker at the Thomas 49. Down 24-10 to the Terriers and 9.5 to go in the ball game. 4 receiver set, twins each side. Metcalf rolling right. Metcalf pressured, lobs it out to the right side, and will be caught by McBride at the 40-yard line, and he'll go down right there after a gain of about 9 yards.
39-yard line, close to a first down.
They'll put him down, close to a first down at the 39. Not sure if he's got it or not.
Official timeout for
I think they're going to measure. You put it at the 40, statistically, if he doesn't have it, and it'll be 4th down in less than 1. Well, they've got it right at the 39, pretty close, about the 39.5.
Sure looks like they have it.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
From our vantage point.
But you probably have better eyesight than I do.
Well, I don't know. I'm just sure looks like they have it.
All right, they're going to stretch the chains here, and we'll check it out. And put it down.
Looks
Boy,
like
the officials got to
go.
get down and look at it.
It's 1 inch to go. He's wiggling it around a little bit.
Yep.
Didn't go call it about an inch.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
4th down. You can't really call it 1.
no,
You can't even call it inches.
It's like an inch or less.
Yeah. Have you ever seen it so close?
I don't think I have. I mean,
4th down, 4th and a cricket. 1 inch.
4th and about a chain link. 9:22 to play in the ball game. Mark this as a huge play in the ball game.
Bulldogs will go for it.
Bulldogs need it to keep the drive alive against Thomas. Thomas up 24-10. 4 receiver set. Dayton Metcalf's going to come right under center. You bet he'll sneak it. He will. Trying to push the pile. I don't know that he got it.
I don't know that he did either.
I don't think he got any push from the line up front.
I think he got a Comstock reception is what he got.
I think what he got was pushed back right to the 40-yard line, got less than what he needed. Did not get the line to make, and the ball's going to go over to Thomas. Yep, defense holds. Wow, what a stand by Thomas. And I believe Hooker wants a measurement.
Well, the ball was
unfortunately,
further.
they're going to find out. The ball smacked up at the 40 right now. Earlier it was about the 39 and 3/4.
They're about, you know.
They're a quarter yard back further than they were.
Right, they're a good foot back of the first measurement. So we'll see here. They're doing it, and they're going to stretch it, and there's no way that they made that one. Yep.
Thomas football. Terrier defensive line comes up big. They get the football with 9:18 to go in regulation, and the Terriers with a 2-touchdown lead of 24-10. Coming up after the game, we'll name your McDonald's player of the game, brought to you by McDonald's, where you can try the lemonade that will soothe the savage thirst at McDonald's. Weatherford, Clinton, and South Main and Elk City. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Terrier Nation.
I need some of that.
You are getting some of that?
I need some right now.
Well, while you're getting it, get me some, will you? 4 receiver set. Trips to the right side. Johnson keeps it after a fake handoff on the jet sweep, and will get about 2 yards to the 42-yard line, and I think you'll see a steady diet of Tanner Johnson keeping the football.
Just barely drugged down by Dayton Metcalf. I mean, shoestring tackle.
Tell you what, Dayton Metcalf all over the place, offensively, defensively, a great athlete. And one thing I think Thomas has done well tonight, they've held the Jaden Vallis in check pretty much tonight. He's their playmaker.
Yeah, he had quite a bit of success in the first quarter.
Trips to the right side, handoff, not much there that time. Loss of 1 for Justin Howe, and they'll bring up 3rd down, 39 for the Terriers. But right now, the clock is the ally of the Thomas Terriers.
Joe Barnett going down the center.
So Barnett down, and he'll be attended to. And while they look at Joe Barnett at the 40-yard line, we'll take a timeout. 8:22 to play in the ball game. It is Thomas 24, Hooker 10. This is Thomas Terrier football, presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the Score. Slow walk to the Thomas sideline for center Joel Barnett. Looks like it might be an ankle or a leg injury. Rodney's putting no weight on that left leg.
Yeah, I thought he got the air knocked out of him the way, at first, and then it was his leg. They're helping him off, escorting him off.
So Barnett will go to the sideline. Terriers have a 3rd down, 9 at their own 41-yard line with the clock at 8 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the ball game. Thomas with a 24-10 lead on Hooker. Terriers looking for a 1-0 start here in district play. On the road in the Panhandle.
From their own 41.
Terriers with a 4-receiver set. Twins going each way. Motion man. This is Cooper Marsh. Marsh on the jet sweep. Cuts it back inside. Shuts a defender 45. Midfield. Open territory. Taken down in Hooker territory at the 49-yard line. 46-yard line. Flag down though in the backfield. That's probably a hold, and it's coming back. As the Thomas Terriers again have a nice play that's going to send them back the other direction.
Back on a hold.
But there's a flag down and it comes
I didn't really see it back there. It got pretty busy, and I was looking forward on that play.
And with the flag laying at about the 37-yard line, make that the 37-yard line, 36-yard line. That's going to take him back a pretty good ways, because that's actually going to be from the spot of the foul. They'll take it back to the 30-yard line, actually.
For a long 3rd down, 3rd and 20.
So move it back to the 30. 3rd down, 20 for the Terriers. Terriers likely will probably keep it on the ground, but we'll see what they'll come with this time. Johnson really hasn't had to air it out too much since early in the ball game.
No, they've kept it on the ground and really ground and pound.
3rd down, Terriers.
4-receiver set, trips going left. High snap, Johnson bobbles it, catches it. Now he's looking for open territory, running room, and he's up to the 34-yard line. Then he fumbled the ball, and Hooker's got it at the 36-yard line. That was really a busted play from the start. Timing was bad, the snap was bad, and, well, unfortunately, the result was bad.
Yeah, what happened is Tanner tried to cut back, and he slipped. I mean, it's kind of moist out here in the Panhandle. They have a different type of grass, kind of an air type grass, and it's slick. It's green, and then it's kind of dead looking, and he slipped, and his elbow hit the ground, and it popped the ball out.
So Hooker takes it over, 1st and 10 at the Thomas 36-yard line. This one isn't done yet. 14-point ball game. Thomas up 24-10, and 7.5 to go in the ball game. Dayton Metcalf with 4 receivers, and Twins are on each side. Metcalf to throw, throws it out to the left side. Open man out to the 30-yard line, inside the 30, and taken down at about the 28 is Jacob Johnson.
With the catch.
You can move a lot of real estate with the passing game, stopping the clock. The way Metcalf can throw, and these receivers can come back to the ball.
8-yard gain brings up second down. Actually, going to be second down and closer to 1 from the 27. Metcalf wants the football and shotgun, back to pass. Metcalf rolling to the right side. Metcalf pressured. Metcalf is going to be called in the grass. Cooper Marsh will get him back to the 38-yard line, loss of 10. Cooper Marsh would not give up on that play.
He wouldn't. Metcalf just has such great awareness. He was throwing that ball away, getting it out of there, but unfortunately for him, he had already had a knee down when he did it.
7-yard line, 10-yard.
So a loss of 10, 3rd down, and a dozen back at the 38-yard line. Inside 6.5 to go in the ball game. Thomas with a 24-10 lead on Hooker. Bulldogs, though, trying to get something going this drive to make it a 1-score ball game.
Yeah, they are, and Terriers trying to defend it as hard as they can.
Trips going left. 3-receiver set. Shotgun. Metcalf wants to throw. Looks left, rolling right. Tucks it under, runs 40, 35, and then stops and goes down right at about the 35-yard line. They'll put him down at the 36 after a gain of 2, and there's a flag down at the 42-yard line, and it's a hold on Hooker.
Yeah, there's two flags, and I think the first one was an illegal chop block out the first one, and the second one down the field 20 yards. I'm not sure what it was.
Well, they're going to come together and talk about the penalties, but we've seen a lot of holding penalties tonight.
There are, but I believe this one was a chop block, illegal chop block.
Okay, well, I saw one indication as a hold.
Okay, right.
So I did get that one.
All right. So someone got their
So here we go. Okay, we got a hold on Hooker, and then we've got illegal use of hands on Thomas. And they will offset. We'll replay the down to 3rd down and 12 at the 38-yard line.
All right.
So, unfortunately, some guys took some bruising out there for a play that never counted.
Yeah, well, it happened both ways, so we'll just redo it.
Call it good and move it on.
Still
Third down and a dozen from the 38-yard line of Thomas for the Hooker Bulldogs.
38.
Hooker down by 2 touchdowns, 24-10 to the Terriers, 5:50, and a moving clock here in the fourth quarter. 3 receiver set. Twins going to the left side for Dayton Metcalf. He has Vargas on his left in shotgun. Metcalf nearly lost the snap, goes back to pass. Plenty of protection, throws over the middle, and it's going to be picked off by the Thomas Terriers and dropped.
Over the middle is broken up. Intended for number 1, Jaden Baez, and 24.
And it's Traber Mannering who had his hands on it and then took a lick.
And Baez made the tackle.
As Metcalf was looking for Baez and brings up fourth
down for Hooker. They'll take time out. We'll take it with them. 24-10 Thomas. This is Thomas Terrier football presented by Wheeler Brothers Green on the score. 4 receiver set. Trips left on 4th down and a dozen from the 38 of Thomas for Hooker. Could be the play of the ball game that will decide if the game remains competitive or not.
Ward's on the field.
5:24 to play in regulation. Ward is on the field and
Having a chat.
and so is defensive coordinator Matt Hart. I'm not sure what the chat is about, but whatever, everybody must be satisfied. We're going to play ball now. 4th down and a dozen from the 38 of Thomas for Hooker. Back to pass. Metcalf throws over the middle. Hits his receiver at the 25-yard line, and Jaden Vallis will make the catch, and it's good for a first down. He picks up 13 yards, and he needed a dozen.
He's had a lot of great hookups tonight, Metcalf. That young man, for sure.
13-yard gain to the 25-yard line. First down for Hooker. They keep the drive alive with 5:10 to go in regulation. The Thomas lead is 14, 24-10.
First and 10, Hooker.
Metcalf in the pistol this time. Runs option, pitches, gets it left side to Vargas. That's going nowhere. A 5-yard loss. Back to about the 30-yard line.
Holly on the tackle. Braden Kester kind of slowed that up. He about had a hell of Metcalf before he got rid of it.
Vargas had nowhere to go, and actually that option play was doomed from the start as Thomas seemed to have read it well defensively. Loss of 5, 2nd down 15 from the 30-yard line, 4.5 to play.
4.5 to go in the game.
Twin receivers going to the right side. Single receiver left, and now he'll come in motion, and this is the jet sweep. They'll hand it off as Vallis will bring it to the right side 30, breaks a tackle 25, down to the 24-yard line, close to the 23, and that'll be a gain of close to 7 yards. Boy, he shows his speed, doesn't he, Jaden Vallis?
He does, and you know, Dow Apple did a great job out here, but he got hooked up with the defender and couldn't get that turned in quick enough.
3rd down 8.
9 Bulldogs now.
Bulldogs with the football in Thomas territory at the 23-yard line. Terriers with a 14-point lead and 3:50 to go, 24-10 the score. Hooker trying to make it a one-score ball game here late in the contest. Metcalf with the snap of the ball. Wants to throw, pressure's on, and he is going to be met and will go down at the 24-yard line. A sack recorded by the Thomas Terriers. Nowhere to go that time for Dayton Metcalf. Had nowhere to run, had nowhere to throw it.
At the 23.
I tell you what, this Terrier line has came alive in the second half. I mean, they are making things happen, creating havoc for Metcalf and the rest of this Bulldog team in the second half.
4th down 9 from the 24-yard line. So again, Hooker needs a 4th down conversion to keep the drive alive, down 2 scores.
They're very capable of doing it. We've seen several conversions that they've made. They're going for it.
3:05 to go in regulation. 4 receiver set. Twins on each side on 3rd down and 9. Back to pass Metcalf. Pressure. Throws deep. Goes left side. Hits a receiver at the 5. Near the left side pylon. And he's in the end zone for the touchdown. Jaden Vallis, and it's a one-score ball game.
How many times have you seen that the Bulldogs can do it? Metcalf has a great arm, has great receivers out there. If you can't get the pressure on him quick enough, and he has a little bit of time, he can make something of nothing.
Dayton Metcalf, 24 yards to Jaden Vallis. And it's a one-score ball game with 2:51 to go in regulation. 24-16, and now for the extra point for Wardlaw. Snap back, ball is down, and the kick is high. It is long, and it is good, and we've got a 7-point ball game with 2:51 to go in regulation. Thomas 24, Hooker 17. Don't go away. It might be a classic down the stretch. This is Thomas Terrier football, presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the score. Hooker has scored with 2:51 to go in regulation to make it a 7-point ball game, 24-17 Thomas. Now let's see if Hooker will try the onside kick. They will pooch it in the air. It will go out of bounds. Terriers will take it over. So Thomas needs a couple of first downs to ice this thing. Hooker's looking for a stop defensively.
Yeah, and we've had a change at center. We've had a few ball snaps. It's things that people think about. And just keep your composure, guys. Run the ball and get out of this one by running the clock out.
Terriers will take it over at the 38-yard line as the ball went out of bounds right there. Normally, if it goes past that and goes out of bounds, if it goes past the 35, you bring it back to the 35. In this case, you take it over where it went out of bounds since it did not make it to the 35. So from the 38, first and 10 for the Terriers in their own territory. Trips going to the right side, 2:51 to go in regulation. Johnson calls for the football. He will hand it off to Cooper Marsh. Breaks a tackle. Back at the 35, up to the 40, and he's got it out to the 41-yard line, almost to the 42. Some nifty moves by Cooper Marsh, and he holds onto the ball more importantly, as ball security will be at a premium here for the Terriers. 4-yard gain for Marsh, second down 6.
Terriers will click all the time off of that clock that they can before they snap the ball.
Play clock at 15. Game clock to 20. 24-17 Thomas. It's been a hard-fought district ball game in the Panhandle tonight. Johnson calls for it with Marsh on his left. Johnson, snap of the ball, goes left. He's going to be hog-tied at about the 44 up to the 45-yard line. He's got about 3 more. Hooker has 1 timeout whenever they're ready to take it.
Stunning backers coming in there. Looked like it could be a disastrous deal, and Cooper Marsh was on a head-on collision.
And Hooker has taken their last timeout, 2:03 to play in regulation, 24-17 Thomas. This is Terrier football, presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the score. The game may actually hinge on this play. 3rd down 3 for the Terriers with the ball at their own 45-yard line. Who do you think gets it?
I think big 32 is going to grab the ball this time, or number 3 might keep it. I mean, it could be a little trickery.
4-receiver set, trips on the right side. Marsh lines up on the left of Tanner Johnson in shotgun. 3rd down 3, 2:03 to go in the ball game. Hooker, no timeouts. Thomas needs a first down to ice it. Johnson, hard count. Johnson, hard count again. Comes up under center. Johnson now back in shotgun. It didn't work. They tried to ice them, tried to get Hooker to jump offside. Thomas takes time. 2:03 to play in regulation. Back with a 3rd and 3 play next. This is Thomas Terrier football, presented by Wheeler Brothers Grain on the score. Ball game right here, Rodney. You convert it, and you run out the clock. Hooker has no timeouts left. If you don't get it, you give Hooker some life.
You do, and it just comes down to who wants it more.
And if you're Thomas, depending on what happens on the 3rd down play, if you don't get the first down, you'll probably go for it on 4th down, or would you punt? That's going to be a big question, too. Here's the 3rd and 3 play first. This to try to ice the game for the Terriers. 3rd and 3, ball at their own 45, 2:03 on the clock, no timeouts for Hooker, Thomas by 7. Johnson calls for the ball. Same set, Marsh on his left. Johnson, right side, pitch his way middle, nothing. Not at all. Dayton Metcalf takes him down, no gain.
Just hole closed up. Johnson tried to go back to the left and just couldn't get it.
Nothing right, nothing middle. Now it's 4th and 3 from the 45-yard line, and if you're the Terriers, what do you do? Do you punt it or do you go for it? It's only a 7-point ball game. If you don't get it, you're going to give Hooker the ball in Thomas territory at the 45. Trevor Mannering to punt it with 90 seconds to go in the game. And this one not over yet. Mannering from his own 34. Play clock at 6, at 5, at 4. The snap was low. It's bad, but he gets it and gets it away. Vargas tries to run over and grab it and does. 25-30. Left side breaks a tackle. Runs into a defender and he's down at about the 35-yard line. And there is a penalty flag down
number 4 for Thomas.
And we'll have to check it out.
Cody Bateman, there's a flag down.
Yeah, I don't know what it was right there, and I don't know if it's a face mask or what. I wonder because there was 3 Terriers there and only Vargas. So I'm not sure unless there was a Bulldog in there that got a hold of someone.
Well, we will check out the penalty. Personal foul, face mask against Hooker.
On the return man.
Wow.
I guess on the return man, he
So
grabbed
that
it.
was actually, on
You don't see that very
Vargas.
often.
Wow.
So he's trying to get away. He tried to change directions from the west to the east. He just couldn't get away.
That will back the ball up inside the 20, down to about the 19-yard line.
Territory.
What a break for the Terriers and a bad deal for the Bulldogs. But the Bulldogs can cover territory so fast with their passing game.
Bulldogs trailing
From the 19, 1st and 10, 81 yards from the goal line with 1:10 to go in the ballgame for Hooker, but they have no timeouts. Down 7 to Thomas, 24-17. Metcalf to throw. Quick pass left side, hits his receiver. There goes Vallis. Vallis with running room. Vallis gets it out by the 30, by the 35, and he's down at the 37-yard line. 18-yard gain and a first down for Jaden Vallis.
Sticks move, no delay. Bulldogs to the line, ready to go.
Ball at the 37. 1st and 10. And if Hooker scores, you got to be thinking about extra point to go to overtime or go for 2 to win it. Twins left, spiking the ball Metcalf. That'll waste it down, 2nd and 10. So he clocks it to stop the clock with 53 seconds to go in regulation.
Coming over the sideline to try to get a little one-on-one info. Here's the call coming back in, Metcalf.
53 ticks to go in regulation. 2nd down, 10 from the 37. Hooker still with the ball in their own territory, trailing 24-17. Metcalf in shotgun. Metcalf back to pass. Swings it out, Vargas right side. 30, gets it up near the 35, breaks a tackle, comes back to the middle of the field, taken down at the 35-yard line, and he actually lost 2 yards on the pass play. Lost a lot of time on all that running around to lose 2 yards.
Down to 36 seconds.
Quickly up to the line. Are they going to run a play or try to spike it? 30 seconds to go in the ball game. Clock still running. 29, 28. Twin receivers on the right side. Metcalf wants to pass. Metcalf looking left. Metcalf nowhere to go. He'll scramble left. He'll lob it left. And it's going to be caught by Jaden Vallis near the sticks. Out near the 46-yard line. And they drop the pass. It's incomplete. It's 4th down. The official came in and looked like that he was marking it as a catch.
I think he was really trying to watch to make sure he scooped it up, and it didn't happen.
So here's a big play. From the 35-yard line in Hooker territory, it's 4th down and a dozen and 17 seconds to go in the ball game. You've got to convert here if you're Hooker. You got to get a dozen yards to keep the drive alive. Twins left, Metcalf to throw. Metcalf, deep ball right side, and he overshoots his intended receiver. It's going to be intercepted by Traver Mannering. That will be the ball game. The Thomas Terriers will hang on to win their first district game of the season, their district opener on the road in Hooker with a Traver Mannering interception at the 29-yard line in Hooker, in Thomas territory, and the Terriers with a 24-17 lead.
Well, there's 8 seconds on this clock, and as wild as this game's been, Mike, they just need to down the ball, get under the center, down the ball, get out of this one. It could be a great win for the Terriers, and, you know, Bulldogs, hard-fought battle coming back, and just shows a lot of character in their young men and this team.
It's been a well-played ball game by both teams. From the 29, Thomas in victory formation. Tanner Johnson under center. Johnson, the snap, the knee, the game is over. The clock winds, Hooker cannot stop it, and the Thomas Terriers have come to the Panhandle and have gone 3-1 on the season, 1-0 in district play, defeating the Hooker Bulldogs 24-17 in a hard-fought ball game tonight.
I tell you what, this is a heart game right here because these guys showed a lot of heart. You know, they showed their true grit. They show what they're made of. This line came alive. The backs came alive. When the chips were down a little bit, they turned the tide of this game. And these are the Terriers that people come to watch, support all the time. And this is a team that Coach Bob Ward's been wanting and waiting to come alive.
24-17 the final score.